Hello there. Today I will be walking you through how to update the AGHA website. As you can see, what we have before us is the front page that can be visited using the link www.agha.or.ug. Right below that are social media links. We also do have a contact area at the top here with an email and of course a number and the donate option. We then do have the different slides that come right below that. As you can see, I am initiating the change of these slides individually. So I will be walking you through how to, for example, update this particular area that I believe you will need to update tentatively, let's say every quarter would be the best ideal time to update these images. Right below that, different details about AGHA as an organization, statistical information, and of course the blog, which is another dynamic area of your website, and I'll show you how to update this. This will basically help with posts and what is ongoing within the organization, and they will appear here in a latest update kind of format, where we have 13th coming in before 13th May coming in before 6th March. So they'll follow that kind of chronology. I'll show you how to do that. We have a subscription palette, and of course right below we have the footer area, which is consistent on each page, including our logo, a simple excerpt about what we do as an organization at AGHA, an address on how to find us, including contact information, and of course recent posts like we had just seen at the top that will populate on each page, just so users can quickly access these particular pieces of information when need be. Then we have the quick links section that has quick navigation tabs: the home, about us, publications, gallery, contact us, how to access your email, a link to access your email via webmail. If you're a user, for example you should be able to use this link to log in, and I'll show you. Let's open this on the new tab right there. I'm just going to open that. And then of course social media links. So we will go step by step, and I'll quickly dash into showing you how to log into your back end of your WordPress website. So to do that, we will either use the link www.agha.or.ug/wp-admin, which automatically brings us to this area. Now of course you'll be required to have a username and email address to log into this area, but for Frederick, he does have access to this end. And for any of you, we will have to create a new account for you before you can access this area. So my login credentials are already there as the manager of this site, and when we log in, this is exactly what we get. So for example, now we are at the back end of our website, and this is what I see as an administrator of this particular site. To the top left, we do have a series of quick links. For example, you can visit the site. We do have an area on how to customize the website, but I'll leave that out. But we'll quickly go into detailing on how to create posts, check the media files, the different pages of your website, your gallery, and I'll let you ask any questions where need be. So as you can see to the left, we do have a navigation tab, and the first here are the posts, the media. We have the pages, which I'll walk you through, where we can add selected pages. We have comments, where we can moderate comments that come into our website. We have a ticketing system. We'll leave that out. We'll quickly go to the events section. Under the event section, you'll be able to add different events that the organization would be upholding. And then of course you do have the gallery section that will be required to be updated tentatively. I'll also show you how to do that. And then of course the MailChimp option, but we'll leave that out. I will be the one handling that entirely. We'll look at the Dropbox function for the files that we have in the publications. Yeah. So to quickly start, we will start with the slider section of your site. So to edit the slider section of your site, you will basically need to come to what we call the slider revolution. It will appear under your menu section. So when we open the slider revolution, we then have these particular sliders appearing. So we will quickly go ahead and edit this particular slider, which is the dominant slider in this particular case. And when we edit that, as you can see, we do have the 5 different slides that do appear on the front page of your website. So currently the first one is selected, and we can quickly go and edit this right under the media library. So these would then populate over here. As you can see, it's happening. And then you can also choose to upload specific files that you can drag files onto this, or perhaps select individual files from your local file directory on your computer. But for this particular case, we will leave the images there as they are, and you can see this is what we have selected. So there are areas like training and capacity building, which I think we will leave this, but to edit this you just simply double click and then input the information that you require there. By deleting this, as you can see, the G right over here has then disappeared, but we need that as that. So that's how you can quickly edit that. And then all equally with the bottom section, you can go ahead and double click. Kindly leave the rest as it is, because if you then tamper with that, we will have to redo the entire section. So kindly go ahead and leave that as it is. Then once you're done, please go ahead and save. Once you have saved, go ahead and click the next slide and edit that using the same sequence that I just walked you through. Another important factor is uploading images, because these images are so big. We require that you optimize them for your website. And how you will be able to do this is using tinyjpg.com. Please take note of this web address, because you will be required to use this tool to minify the sizes of images that you will be uploading to this particular server. Very, very important. The reason why we do this is simply because if an image, for example, is 5 megabytes, that implies for every image that loads on your website, we will be forced to utilize 5 megabytes of data, which one reduces performance of your website by affecting its loading speed, and 2 affects user experience, because whenever I come to your site, even with the small bundle package that I have, it is entirely depleted. So I will start avoiding your website based on how it utilizes my data. So please go ahead and use this to minify your images. The next is the events section, and under the events section, as you can see, we do not have any events, but how you will be able to edit this is under the dashboard. Once you scroll down, you do have the events section, and as you can see, there are no events, but we will go ahead and try to see what happens when we add an event to this particular section of our website. So when we do add event, this is what comes up, and we'll be required to add an event title For example, maybe AGHA 2019 celebrations, yeah, and then we'll be required to input content, yeah, about what the event is going to be talking about. And then to the right, sometimes we want to save time publishing these events, so we can choose to save it to draft and then edit it later. We can choose to edit its publicity view, ensure that it's password protected, or make sure that it's private, that only the AGHA team, internal team, can view this particular event. We also do have the publish immediately option. Now this allows you to schedule events. We might have a series of events, but you do not have the time to come in December and update this particular event. So what you do is you schedule all these events right now, and then they can automatically be published on a desired date, 1, and 2 at a desired time on your website. Then of course the categories that are very important. You need to always add a category, and once you have added a category, you can always reselect that individual category to point towards particular events. So perhaps this category could be internal events, right? So once we enter that, we of course then do have that event added onto the list of events that we have as AGHA. And then of course we will have the most frequently used events that would then appear there. Just 1 second. Of course the most recently appeared events that would then appear there. So we also do have the tags event, which basically allows you to tag this particular event, such that search engines can also crowd them, and they can be categorized in your archives differently. So tags on events would probably be maybe AGHA. We could tag AGHA there. We could also tag perhaps opening ceremony of AGHA, right? Perhaps we could tag Kampala NGO, maybe initiative, right? Yeah. Yeah. So as you can see, this is basically done concurrently, and it can help you index your site very well. Once you're done with this, please go ahead and set up a featured image that will be required to point out to this particular event. So please go back to your media gallery and select a particular image. Once that is done, please go ahead and publish this, and this would then automatically appear under the events section, of course also appearing under this particular tab under the events on your website. The next we do have is the publications area, and under the publications area, this is what we have. We have looked for the best option for you on how you can update the publications area, and we came up with a tool that integrates your Dropbox drive storage, cloud storage, pointed towards your AGHA website. The beauty about this is all you need to do is create a simple Dropbox account, and you can also give access to different members of the organization through their Dropbox account. This is cloud storage security privileges or advantages you have over entirely storing your files on one server. And the beauty about this is we shall leverage all the functionality and speed, and have an advantage over just having everything on your local server. As you can see, we do have these listed in this kind of format. We can go ahead and filter these based on ascending or descending order format. Once this loads, you'll be able to see that. So for example, this is descending kind of format. And as you can see, we have T, which is basically at the bottom of the alphabetical order. You can go ahead and reorganize these based on how you would like, and then you can also see date modified, including seeing the size of individual files. Right next to it, we do have a drop-down functionality which allows you to preview the desired PDF file, or 2, preview in a new window, or 3, download individual files. So you can choose, the choice is yours as a viewer on what to do with each of these publications. Unfortunately, we cannot expand these to an area or to a better view like you had requested, simply because this plugin only allows us to do this the way it is. So I would request that we utilize this tool, unless if you're willing to pay perhaps for another tool. We can then go ahead and bill you and have this done the way you desire. But ideally, this is an investment from the company, and we would have much appreciate it if you took this on as it is, because it equally would sell what your needs are. So how to basically do this is under your Dropbox folder, and under your Dropbox folder you are able to upload these different files. So for example, this is access that I have. Currently Frederick does have access. He can edit, so he will be able to add privileged access to any of the AGHA team, and they will be able to add files directly here onto this particular drive. The next is the gallery section, which appears here, and these are just images of AGHA. But again, remember, to upload these images, we will need to first of all make use of tiny JPG and minify these images, and then once we are done, we can then upload them to our website. So to upload or update the gallery section, you simply will need to go to the full gallery section on your navigation area on the back end, and of course edit the main gallery, which is this one, and once we edit that, this is what appears. So all you need to do is to manage items, and once you manage items, you can then add different images to this particular gallery. Of course, you also have the edit gallery option, which also once you click, of course, would then allow you open this particular gallery. So as that opens, please remember, it is the main gallery section that we edit, and then of course the integration is left to myself, which we just copy this particular shortcode and then paste in the required field. The next is the contact us area, and this basically has information on how to get a hold of AGHA. We do have your box number, your phone numbers, your email address, the website link, your Facebook and Twitter handle links, which we shall need to add. I will work with you to update this. And then of course the get in touch area with a simple contact form that comes directly to info@agha.org. And at the bottom of that, we have a continuous subscription panel, and of course the footer area. With this information, I believe you should be able to update your website freely, and if you do have any questions, please feel free to ask me. The one last area which is very important is the post area, and to do that, this is basically the blog dynamic area of your website. So of course we'll come to posts, and as you can see, these are the posts that we initially made on your website. if we scroll to this area, accelerating universal health coverage, research, information and knowledge management, health workforce and advocacy forums. So these are the posts that we had published. So to basically add it, to add a particular post, all will be required is to add new post. But in this particular instance, instead of adding a new post, let's look at perhaps editing the last post that we made onto this website. We also see we have a few comments here, but these I believe are junk, and we already have 59 views on each of these posts. So you're able to analytically understand how these posts are doing. So accelerating universal health coverage is the title of this particular post, and we did post a video ad to this particular area. We also went ahead, we did not categorize this, so perhaps we could categorize this and any category that we deem, let me see, accelerating universal health coverage. So perhaps that could be under, we could add a category like maybe health coverage, yeah, and add that to the uncategorized area of this particular blog. Yeah, just 1 second. Yeah. So we have the health coverage right there, and then we can add specific tags separating them with commas such that we can index this. Of course, the featured image to show what this particular post is about. And finally, when we are done, we can go ahead and post this or update it. In this case, we would then update. In the case of a new post, we would then post it. So that's basically how we would update to your website. Again, please feel free to ask me any prevailing questions that you may feel you might not have understood, and go ahead and watch these as many times as you can, because it's there to help you. Thank you very much for watching. I do hope to hear from you soon.